What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to yet another trade recap video. Another beautiful trade was taken. I shared most of the setups in the Telegram, what I was looking for. Unfortunately, I was really busy. I have an exam today at 2 p.m., which is in a few hours, and I've been studying for that, so I didn't have enough time, or I didn't really want to do a low effort, like, hey, this is the trade that I'm taking, and put your guys' money at risk. So, of course, I only put my money at risk. And as you guys may have seen already in the Telegram, I showed how much I actually put in yesterday. It was 400, and usually it's just 200. It's just because I literally blew the 200 initial deposit off of like the initials like setup. When we started looking for it, I was trying to get in at the low of the daily fair value gap, and I'll explain it right now as well. So what was the actual narrative to this trade? The actual narrative to this trade was this daily bullish for IFVG. So there's a huge daily bullish fair value gap, and inside of this huge bullish one, there's this bearish one that was inverted, and we just came down into it. So when that happened and I saw that the previous daily candle closed here, all that we were doing was waiting for Asia session to open up so that we can start catching a trade from the open of the next daily candle. And from the open, we got exactly what happened the previous day as well. So from the open, let's go back in time right here. 30-minute. This is the bearish previous day candle, and from the open of the new candle, we instantly shot up. And when we instantly shot up, we got this daily candle without a wick. And I was already honestly anticipating sells, because I thought that it would dip down lower and maybe even like go straight through here. And just disregard all these bullish confluences, because I was thinking on the weekly time frame, we're honestly not that far away from this IFVG. Like, technically we closed below it, and so if the week was trying to like throw everyone off and try to run down there and close somewhere closer towards this fair value gap, that was definitely a possibility that could have happened. So I started considering that, and I was looking for sells when as I just showed you, when we started running up. When we started running up, there was no wick. And no wick is a huge confluence that I like using as like a draw on liquidity. I like to target this area with no wick. My light keeps falling. Right, so I was looking for sells, and I honestly got chopped up right here. It chopped up, and this is because I usually start off with a 200 initial deposit, and with 200 on my 1 to 500 leverage account, I'm able to drop 0.25, which is honestly a pretty huge position. And that's why I'm able to pretty much make money with even $200, because my first initial trade ends up taking me from 200 to like around 500, and from 500 I drop a 0.5 or a 0.4, and as my position starts running up, I'm able to layer in a little bit more, and it ends up flipping to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 like nothing. And obviously, like, I'm going to be honest, I take a lot of trades, and I'm pretty risky with the way that I'm trading this, and I'm not planning to sustainably do this. This is what I'm doing right now, just to kind of make some more money, and then I'll probably drop a bigger sum into a live account that I'll try to like, here's like 20K, and I'll only withdraw whatever I make on top of this 20K. I'm planning to do that soon. I'm honestly, because it's still working for me right now, I'm going to keep doing this as consistently as I can. So yeah, my first trade, like right off the bat, I was trying to sell from here to this daily low. And I didn't really understand why it went up from this. Like, even though there was a 30-minute fair value gap right here, like, I didn't honestly expect it to run up. I was just hoping that the next candle opens, runs down, because we were already so close. But we ran up randomly. We didn't sweep any high or nothing. And then we turned back around and sold. So that did bum me out a little bit. And then we sweep the low, and I see that a new fair value gap formed right here. So I kind of disregard everything else I was looking for. I start looking at this 30-minute fair value gap, and that's when I start actually send out the trade. So let's go to the very top of yesterday and see what I was talking about. Price just tapped daily IFVG below. Trade recap from yesterday. We scaled out. So as I mentioned, like, there was a possibility that we might pull back. So I was open-minded to it. And what I said is I'm looking for this 4-hour for Asia session. So obviously Asia session is already starting. That's what I was showing you guys so far. And I was looking at this 4-hour fair value gap. So this 4-hour fair value gap, as usual, I'm expecting it to get inverted if price wants to run higher. So back on the 1 hour time frame, we swept this low. I noticed on the 30-minute time frame, we have this. And me and my brother, because I was home yesterday, and me and my brother are trading, and I'm like, bro, I'm excited for this trade. Like, this is literally like my setup, like lined up. I was literally excited. I was like, dude, this is awesome. Let's watch this. I think this is gonna run up right now because it just took out this low, and we're gonna get a beautiful setup. Like, it's gonna run up, flip this thing, flip the 4 hour, and we're gonna get a crazy setup because this is also a daily bullish for rally gap. So I was looking for this, and we honestly like got in a little early right here, and that's where the first part of my account took a pretty big loss, because when I got in right there, dipped down lower, and I wasn't too scared of this because like, my brother, he got hella emotional. So my brother is like 16, and he still has a lot to learn, let's just say that. And he doesn't listen to me all the time, and I'm honestly kind of grateful for that, because as a trader you want to have your own like volition. Like, I kind of dislike people that would only rely on me and not want to learn themselves. And for him, it's like he doesn't want to rely on me. He wants to do everything himself, but I know he's not ready for that. So I'm like, dude, just listen to me. Just listen to me. Like, I'll put more money in your account. Just listen to me. And it runs down, and I'm like, it's still bullish. Like, we're still going to buy. And the fact that it ran down only makes it a bigger position for us to buy from. And you guys can see, if you look at the positions that I sent, a lot of my positions started getting layered from here because I saw it running up. So what was this gap right here that I have outlined? It's the 4 hour right here. So there's another IFVG below. And I was honestly expecting it to run from this one. And it did run from this one. As you can see, it ran from this one. This bullish IFVG right here on the 4 hour. But it still decided to tap down here. So once it started running, I was like, we're still chilling. Like, it's still going to go down there. Or still going to go up. Right, so we're looking for it to start expanding. I scaled down to the lower time frame, and I started looking for confirmation. And I saw literally every single IFVG in the century getting flipped right here. We got the first one tapped in, flipped 2 more right here. So I'm like, okay, we're starting to run up, and that's all I'm looking for now. We're looking for buys. I'm scaling in my positions, and I was like, even though I'm getting in like right here, I was planning to get in right here with my previous position. So I just dropped another 200 in the account and started going long again from here. And I was up like maybe like 700 once we actually got to the 30-minute fair value gap. But I got literally one of the most unfortunate positions of all time, because it closed inside of the 30-minute fair value gap instead of closing above it. And I dropped a pretty like bigger size position right here. So when it started running down, that bigger position right here, it ran down a little bit. So that bigger position that I entered was literally at the top of this move. And it was a pretty terrible entry, because I was expecting it to just keep running, flip it, and keep going higher. But it ran down, and that bigger position that I entered, like, basically lost more money than I had in my account, because it was like a 0.2. So as it started running down, that's 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. And that ended up being like a $200 loss. And it closed most of my positions down below because I was over leveraged and I was adding another position. Like, honestly, like I said, this isn't something that I sustainably want to do. But when I know, like, I'm pretty confident in a setup and I'm willing to risk the money to make more, like, that's just how I'm trading right now. It's a part of like my style. So anyways, I was obviously looking for buys here, and it took me out. I still had some positions that I actually clutched everything up for me, and what I ended up doing, what I had to do, I was forced to kind of do this, was once we started running back up, I had to close my positions right here and re-enter. So, I mean, I wasn't too bummed out about it, because I still ended up surviving, and that was the main thing, because I knew it was still going to run up. We're barely just tapping into the 4 hour, which I'm expecting it to flip. So, right, the narrative is that we flip this 4 hour. So back here, I'm scaling down because I noticed that the 30-minute isn't like getting closed above, and then when I noticed the 15-minute got closed above, it was already respecting this 15-minute. So I ended up just getting in off of this and running this up to the 4 hour. So then I'm driving back home, or back to university from my home, and I'm like, I call my brother and I'm like, dude, I'm driving right now, the amount of times that I've held positions while I was driving and not able to close because I wasn't paying attention to the market, you have to call me and tell me when we flip this 4 hour or like anything significant that I should know of. And one of those things was that it literally came to the literal high of this 4 hour to the tick and started running down. Like my brother should have called me right there and told me to close my position because I was up maybe like the same amount that I actually withdrew. Like today I withdrew 1,400, which is basically my initial deposit plus 1,000 that I actually earned, and I received that 14 minutes ago. So grateful for that. Still $1,000 a day. And yeah, he should have told me because I would have been able to get out right there and maybe make more because I would have been able to re-enter the same position that I did end up re-entering anyways. Because I was still expecting it to flip this 4 hour. We're still bullish on the daily and we're clearly running. We're still disrespecting all these bearish confluences. So I'm still bullish. But it ended up literally wicking this high. And what I noticed, which I sent out later, was this right here. I measured the high of this right here. As you guys know, candles without wicks are significant draws on liquidity. So right here, you can see that this 1 hour candle does not have a wick. And I was like, oh, it filled it. And it actually ran down after filling this wick. But it didn't. It missed it. Like I hovered over this candle. Like you'll see that I have my arrow right here. Look at the top left of the screen. Let me move this. This point right here is the high of this candle is 3330.45, and the high of this candle over here is 3330.51. So this one 4.5 is less than the other one, so it didn't actually get there. So when I noticed that it didn't actually get to the candle, I was like, okay, now I'm confident that we're going to go up. We're going to go up there for sure. And what I ended up sending in the Telegram later, okay, so I sent out the actual thing, right? So I was already looking for this trade, and that's where I lost the first deposit, which was $200. And then I ended up depositing again and making it all back. We were looking for confirmation. So like I wouldn't actually tell you guys to get in early because obviously it's risky before the confirmation actually happens. But I'm willing to take the risk because what I learned from ICT is if you know that something's likely to play out, you get in before it plays out and you already have a profitable position, then you wait for the confirmation. Anyways, what I sent out is like, this is still likely going to be the draw on liquidity for the Silver Bullet of London session. And Silver Bullet of London session is known to run on like a target before moving in the, basically like Judas swing is the first like hour of London session, and then it's the Silver Bullet which runs towards like some target. So I noticed that it was running down. It tapped into this 30-minute FVG right here. It tapped into it really nicely, so I wasn't looking for it to go any lower than this. But it did end up taking out one of my positions at break even, like literally 2 or 3 positions that I had right here, which were huge positions that I worked so hard on getting a nice position in right here, and I was break even because they were high positions and they were pretty like big size, and I was up a decent amount right here. It was like 1,500. So I would have been honestly happy to close, but I just didn't see that it literally started reversing after tapping the high. So it came down, tapped into this 30-minute, tiny 30-minute, and started pulling back. I noticed it was respecting it, scaled back down to the 15-minute, and I just watched it, waited for like a macro, and I used the macro to, like Silver Bullet macro, at 3 a.m. to actually run on the highs. So we closed above and then started running up. Swept that high, and that's where we pulled back from. So you would have noticed we got some sell side right there. But back into the 15-minute, we're respecting this IFVG, and obviously we ran up this morning from this level, closed above the 4 hour. There you go. So you can see the 4 hour closed above, which was our draw on liquidity yesterday. We were looking for this 4 hour to become an IFVG, and this morning we ran up. So the market's not closed yet, but we did get a nice move, and I already closed all my positions and withdrew because it's Friday, and I was like, I'm just going to honestly withdraw everything from my account, enjoy my weekend, start fresh again next week. That's the trade recap from this video, or from yesterday's trades. Sent everything out in the Telegram. Again, I'll be linking the Telegram in the bio if you're interested in joining and watching the analysis. I love Telegram. I mean, I know a lot of people don't use it, but it's honestly a really great app. And it's not like Viber, if you guys know what that is, where they literally put you into random spam groups that of like just scammers basically trying to do this stuff. I'm pretty sure Viber's in on this whole thing because I don't know how they keep getting my number into those groups. I had like my church group in the Viber, and I just uninstalled Viber because it was just annoying. But Telegram's super nice, and yeah, I use it for basically all my journaling whenever I send stuff into my saved messages, and then I use it to like send stuff between my computer and my phone because I can have it on my computer, as I always show you guys, and then on my phone. So I just usually send like whenever I'm making a post. Not sponsored, by the way. I just genuinely think it's a great app. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Make some money next week. God bless you guys.